lot of new build is high rise in California and also in Miami. The coast
Yeah,
states.
high rises, extreme multi-family setups. That's a lot of building I see going on everywhere, especially here in California. It's all extreme multi-family stuff.
Because imagine, let's say this lot, right? Usually, let's say this lot, if you just build single family homes, then let's say 50, okay, 50 properties, then the city can or the county can collect only 50 property taxes, right?
Hmm.
But if they do high rise, they can go as high as they want. They can build 100, 200, right? And that with that same lot size, they can build more and then collect more property taxes at the same
Yeah, and
time.
that's why a lot of I've watched a lot of buildings that used to be apartment buildings that
Hmm.
they were literally apartment buildings 10 years ago.
Right.
The property owner remodels them. Next thing you know,
Yes.
they're selling them as condos.
Yeah.
We're getting out selling them as condos because the city can get property tax from way more people
Right.
to cover losses.
Right.
And it's terrible because people don't pay attention. They're so
Hmm.
the average American's so caught up on the circus of. Uh, they're so caught up on all the circuses going on right now. It's a shame. But I see all these people just still struggling to buy a home, and I'm like, I would love to buy a home, but I'll be damned if I'm gonna pay, a couple hundred grand. It's already that way, but I'm not gonna pay a couple hundred grand for a home I know was not worth that much 10 years ago, 5 years ago. It wasn't worth that much, and as long as the market is artificially kept inflated, it's gonna stay that way. But say the market crashes for a correction, because you can't never keep that stuff up. If it crashes for a correction, I have a $700,000 home that's all of a sudden only worth $300,000. The bank's not going to redo my loan. They're not going to adjust it. I'm still on the hook for $700,000. So I don't understand where the disconnect in this theory comes from. Hmm. Oh, looks like yes, Michelle. I see the. I'm not sure if everybody's still seeing me or if there's still seeing Shelby. So I was gonna address some comments. Oh, there you go. We've had a technical difficulty right there. Not hearing you. Either look.
Okay. I was talking about the real estate commission rules. I don't know if anybody catch that, but I'm going to repeat myself. So there's a new change, a lot of shifting in real estate market right now in the real estate industry, not just the mortgage rate, interest rate, or the affordability, even the real estate agent and brokers has changed. Because normally when a seller sells homes, the seller has to pay 6%, 5 to 6% commissions rates, and then that's going to break down into split into two. The listing agent gets one side, the buyer agent gets one side. So right now, the new rules is the seller does not have obligation to pay for the buyer's agent. Okay, that's the new rules, and this is caused by because I forgot which state, but some states there's a lawsuit going on went on, and then the NAR National Association of Realtor is they lost the lawsuit. That's why there's new rules change.
All right.
And
Uh,
mhm,
so it used to be how much percent?
okay, if a seller sells home used to be 5 to 6%, okay,
Mm-hmm.
on top of the selling price.
Yeah.
Yeah. and right, and then split into two. One side gets each half. Okay,
Hmm.
right? The new rule is the seller does not have to have the obligation to pay for the buyer's agent side.
Oh, so now the buyer is not obligated to pay
No,
the realtor.
the
The seller's
seller,
obligated
the seller is
for
not
everything.
obligated to pay the buyer's agent. Yes. Do you understand?
Okay, I mean I could see how that would work out because you know the buyer is like, you want me to pay.
So right now, okay, right now okay, to me personally in this professional, I think seems like it's changing just on paper, okay? But if we go into the transaction, it's actually the same because at the end of the day, if you have a home to sell, if you don't have the buyer to buy, there's no transaction, right? So
Yeah,
which means even before this rule change, the buyer's money will be in the how do you say, in the transaction to be some this 5 to 6% is gonna be paid to the agents anyways. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
yeah. I
And
bought two homes,
so
and when I bought
so
my homes,
so right now, even though on paper, okay, you don't show you paying this to the buyer agent, but these funds, okay, or money to pay for both agents originally is says come from seller, but it's actually come from buyer anyways, because without a buyer, there's no fund, there's no money involved, there's no money to pay anybody, right? So
yeah,
I think this rule, it's another scarcity, another fear, another politic agenda in my point of view, because people gonna people gonna be saying, "Oh my God, now I have to pay for a buyer's agent, so I'm not gonna buy a home. Oh, it's gonna be more expensive to buy a home." And then the seller side, they're gonna say, "Oh, now I'm gonna pay a little bit less so I can gain more." But at the end of the day, if they gain more, well, what we were just saying about the tax, right? So,
yeah. I don't know. I haven't bought a home in California, even though I live here. I haven't bought a home here because the market's just been too much. But I did purchase two homes in Florida,
mm,
and I'm gonna be honest, I don't know who was wholly responsible, but I know the habit in Florida was to go back and forth until you came to an agreement. Because one home I bought, I paid because I was a seller, and another home I bought, I paid. Well, when I was a seller, I paid. When I was a buyer, I just because we went back and forth. Who's going to pay the agent fees, the realtor? And I'm like, and we would go back and forth and agree. And I'm like, yeah, if I pay that, we can take this much off the price. You know, see, it went back and forth until somebody agreed, but the deal couldn't go
exactly.
through until that was finalized.
So, but that's what you say is everything actually, because that's it's about negotiation. It's about business deal, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah. And at the end of
yeah,
the day, when everybody agreed on stuff, it was great. Like when I sold my home, you know what? I paid the whole thing because I just wanted the deal done because I had to move and I wasn't trying to haggle too
mm,
much. I just wanted the deal done, so I paid. You know, but I
so
could have very well haggled back and forth to split it or do one or
s-
the other.
yeah, so bottom line is negotiating deals. No matter you bought it in Miami or California, it's the same here. So what I'm trying to say is this is another example that government try to get involved with business, and they always f up.